and another alliance was forged during the events that followed the Succession War. In a grueling game where its players wager their lives, faced with an attempt to break the rules, Borksen is left with no options. Thus, we reach the final conclusion up to this point. What happened to Borksen? Did Morena gain another powerful ally or an enemy who silently roams, now with the power to grow stronger and learn more about Nen, a desire she already possessed? Want to know more about what's happened so far? Place your bets. The Succession War continues. Don't get lost in this battle. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the notification bell. Let's dive into the end game. Borksen had the game of her life concluded in this episode, and the outcome was entirely the opposite of what she truly wanted. Alongside this, there were many revelations. How and when will Borksen make her next move? Now, she is part of something she and her friends vowed to stay away from. A lot could happen from here on. This insane episode, where one mistake could be fatal, sees her pushing forward. But little did she know that by the end of the game, everything would change, and what she had etched into her mind would all fall apart. Every move can alter the fate of the characters involved. The dynamic between the two is fascinating, as Borksen, known for her cunning and skill in manipulation, finally meets an adversary on her level. Right at the beginning, we see Borksen realizing that the Yes card was not her initial intention, but rather the result of her own attempt to cheat. Her surprise is evident as she tried to cheat Morena by making small scratches on the Benno card. She subtly marked the card with a small crease, hoping to deceive Morena into picking the wrong card. However, Morena was always one step ahead and managed to spot Borksen's cheating attempt thanks to her absolute control ability. This put Borksen in a tough spot, as any attempt at dishonesty triggers Morena's automatic ability, limiting Borksen's choices. Morena reveals she has a unique skill that allows her to monitor all of Borksen's moves, restricting her to choose only yes or no. Any dishonesty activates an automatic ability that limits Borksen's choices. Morena explains that her ability is known as absolute control. She can see and predict her opponent's actions with remarkable precision. This gives her a significant strategic advantage, allowing her to manipulate the game in her favor. Borksen, who always relied on her ability to deceive and manipulate, finds herself vulnerable for the first time. The tension between the two grows as Borksen struggles to find a way to overcome Morena's ability. Faced with this revelation, Borksen is in a complicated position. She must make a crucial decision: continue in the game, risking everything, or return to her old group, seeking the safety of her previous life. Borksen's choice has significant implications for the plot. Benjamin, one of the princes, is in danger, and the fight for the throne intensifies. But the surprises don't stop there. The union of Borksen and Morena is one of the most shocking revelations of this episode. Initially enemies, the two find common ground and decide to join forces. This unexpected alliance drastically changes the dynamics of the game, bringing new strategies and challenges for both sides. Morena sees in Borksen a valuable ally, someone who can use her manipulation skills to achieve her own goals. At the same time, Borksen realizes that allying with Morena might be her best chance to survive and thrive in the game. The new alliance between Borksen and Morena deeply affects the balance of power in the game. Through flashbacks, we learn more about these characters' pasts and how their experiences shaped their abilities and motivations. For example, Borksen grew up in an environment where manipulation and betrayal were commonplace. These experiences made her a shrewd player, always anticipating others' moves. On the other hand, Morena comes from a history of control and domination. Her absolute control ability reflects her need to always be in charge. The union of these two characters creates a fascinating dynamic where they must learn to trust each other despite their traitorous natures. Their relationship evolves from a wary rivalry to a complex partnership, full of tension and hidden agendas. As the plot progresses, we see Borksen and Morena facing new challenges together. They must navigate a labyrinth of cheats and power plays, where every move is critical. Morena's ability to foresee actions proves invaluable, while Borksen uses her cunning to create distractions and diversions, enabling Morena to manipulate the battlefield in her favor. The revelation of Morena's absolute control is not just a narrative twist but a turning point that reconfigures the nature of the conflict. Morena reveals that using her ability goes beyond mere observation. She has an intrinsic connection to Borksen's movements, placing her in an almost godlike position, monitoring and manipulating her opponent's actions with terrifying power. This puts Borksen in a moral and strategic dilemma. How far is she willing to go to challenge the destiny Morena seems to control? The episode delves deeply into the philosophical and moral implications of this battle of wills. Morena is a personification of absolute power, while Borksen represents human resilience and cunning. Their game is, in reality, a metaphor for the struggle for freedom and self-determination against totalitarian control. The spectator is led to question Morena's motivations. Why does she choose to use her power this way? Morena reveals that, in her view, absolute control is necessary to maintain order and justice. She sees her role as that of a guardian, keeping balance and preventing chaos from reigning. However, Borksen perceives this as a form of tyranny, where individual freedom is sacrificed in the name of a supposed greater good. Meanwhile, political tension in the kingdom continues to escalate. Benjamin, one of the most powerful and influential princes, is under constant threat. His alliances and political strategies are tested as the fight for the throne intensifies. Borksen's decision to join forces with Morena directly impacts the balance of power, affecting the alliances and rivalries among the princes. However, Borksen begins to consider an alternative strategy. Now with her alliance with Morena, she might try to convince her former allies to reconnect with Tserednik, something that was previously unthinkable. How will they react to this new decision of hers? Surely someone will suspect her, and not everyone may accept it, at least not immediately. In trying to persuade her friends, Borksen faces a new dilemma. She must find a way to prove her loyalty while navigating the treacherous waters of her own intentions. The possibility of a reconciliation with Tserednik brings new challenges, as it could mean abandoning the safety and advantages gained with Morena. If Borksen succeeds in convincing her friends to reunite with Tserednik, the game's dynamics will shift once again. Tserednik, known for his power and influence, could offer a significant advantage but also comes with his own risks and uncertainties. Is Borksen willing to risk everything for the chance of a new beginning, or does she have a hidden strategy that could turn the game in her favor? These uncertainties heighten the tension and complexity of the plot, leaving the audience questioning Borksen's true intentions. Does she genuinely wish to betray Morena and seek an alliance with Tserednik, or is she using the situation to gain more power and control over the game? Through a series of political maneuvers and intrigue, we see the true faces of the characters. Morena, despite her absolute power, begins to question her own motivations. Borksen, on the other hand, discovers a side of herself she never knew existed, a relentless will to challenge destiny and fight for her own freedom. This episode leaves us with many questions and expectations for the upcoming chapters. The depth of the strategies and the complexities of the characters show just how profound and intriguing this game truly is. The shocking revelations and the unlikely union of Borksen and Morena make us question the true intentions of each character and what is to come. As we eagerly await the next chapter, we know that more secrets will be revealed and the battle for survival will continue even more intensely. With every episode, Hunter x Hunter captivates us with its complex plots and characters, leaving us eager for what lies ahead. So, with Borksen trying to convince her friends to reconnect with Tserednik, this decision could change the course of all those involved, raising questions about loyalty and betrayal. At the same time, Tserednik, aware of Borksen's treacherous nature, remains cautious. He weighs the potential advantages and risks of a renewed alliance with Borksen and her friends. If Borksen succeeds in convincing her allies, the alliance with Tserednik could offer them a significant strategic advantage but may also lead to new conflicts and betrayals. Meanwhile, Morena closely observes Borksen's movements. Her absolute control ability places her in a constant position of vigilance, and any deviation from Borksen's plans could trigger an immediate reaction. Morena knows that, to maintain her dominance, she must always stay one step ahead, and Borksen's possible alliance with Tserednik becomes a potential threat. And so, what do you think of these revelations? Stay tuned for more analyses and discussions about the Hunter x Hunter universe. Thank you for making it this far, and see you next time.